All right, welcome to this week's FinX, where we go over the most popular names over Financial X that has kind of have the most buzz, and to see if we can glean anything valuable out of it, take action on it, or is it literally just noise? So first one, PLTR. I just went over this in my weekly video. I will put a link at the end here. Go watch that for my weekly preparation video. Overall, yes, this looks great. We can look at the weekly, big. Basically, like you can say this is a weekly bull flag, multiple, like the last time it was down here at this level was in May 2025. So it hasn't really gone anywhere within about a year, a little more than a year. And now we get a nice burst out downtrend line a on a catalyst, which is earnings. And so this looks absolutely great. Very strong move out of the consolidation above the 200, above the 50. Everything is starting to go up. It's a little extended in the tooth right now. So what I would like is a little time correction, maybe a little bit deeper of a pullback. We do have a gap here. I don't know if the gap will fill. We'll see. Either way, the first level that needs to hold is this breakout level. So I would say, I have this marked at 155, but it's really 155 to like 160, that area. We do have a potential area of supply here at this pivot on gap, but overall, yes, it looks good. NVIDIA looks absolutely great. You can say this is a double bottom now that it broke these highs here. This $210 was an important level. It is coming up to a important level right now, pivot on gap from this day, June 2nd. Where the pullback, the lower high began. And so this area, this 226.82 is important to break through, but it's a little extended. So don't be surprised if we get a little bit of selling at the beginning of the week. This is a potential area of supply. I'd look for a pullback basically to this 210 area to risk against. It would basically be a breakout of this double bottom look and a retest of that breakout level. So keep it simple. RKLB, it does have earnings this week. Monday night, so be mindful. I would not hold stock if you are trading. Long term, whatever, ignore it, right? But long term, if you are trading, I would not hold stock into a binary event such as earnings. You can get crushed, and so would not recommend. Overall, it looks good. Held this support here at this pivot on gap of this $58, $57 area. It has now reclaimed this important $76 to $75 area. I would be interested in maybe like a gap down on earnings and then getting bought up. It looks pretty good. It is hitting the 50 EMA, declining 50 EMA from below. So this is an area of potential supply, but it's above the 200 EMA. It's above the 5, 8, and 21 now. So it looks pretty decent. It's a little sloppy though. I would look for a higher low. Tesla got crushed on earnings. $300 level held. The average participant is now above the anchor VWAP from earnings. It is above the 5. It's above the 8. We do have the 21 EMA coming in at 340-ish area, so just be mindful of that. These pivot on gaps were traded through, and take those away. Otherwise, we do have this gap that we need to pay attention to. It's basically the earnings gap. That area. I'll be more specific with it later, but it's somewhere within there. We have a potential gap fill coming up. I would just wait for it to kind of fill in. It looks okay. Could be a higher low versus here. We just have potential areas of supply. Micron looks okay. Could be a higher low versus this low here. Set an anchor VWAP. I went over how to use anchor VWAPs in my prior video, especially at lows. Typically, it holds them. I don't like this look here, but it's still holding it. Overall, it's above the 5, 8, 50, and the 21, and the 200. It is, I have this kind of head and shoulders look. There's the neckline. It broke the neckline. However, it is reclaiming. This is the neckline here. It is reclaiming it. We have to see if it accepts back into it. Otherwise, we have that down trend line we got to be mindful of. We'll see if it holds it here. It looks interesting. Potential turnaround. If you go look at SMH and SOXX, the ETFs for semiconductors, they look great. So, maybe, but these names help make up. So maybe they start turning around. AMD is meh. It's, it's still sloppy. It's this area, this $440-ish area continues to be important. It's holding it. It's still a little sloppy in here. It's below the 21, below the 5, below the 8, below the 50. The 200 is somewhere all the way down here at 350. It doesn't look the best. Hood is interesting. It's getting rejected now at the 50 EMA and the 21 EMA. I was interested in it on pullbacks to this like $99 area, and I had a few pivot on gaps in this 95, and then I said 93. Each level has failed. I haven't taken any shots at it. Now it's finding support at this pivot on gap here and the earnings anchored VWAP, the last earnings anchored VWAP. And so it's an area of interest. It's at the downtrend line. It's just a little bit more weak than what I would like it to be. So I think it has a little bit more work to do until it becomes actionable. And clean this chart up a little bit. It's a little sloppy here. So yeah, I don't know. It's just not the best look. SOFI, I bought a long-term hold position here at earnings. So it's a range trade, right? I've been talking about SOFI for a while now. It's been popular for a while. It's not doing anything. It's ranging between $15 and $20. So it's a pretty decent range from low to high at 31%. But really, it's not doing anything. So it was basically an earnings support play. You gap down to support. I went over this on the earnings trade. If you gap down to support on earnings, you look for the buy up. And so it's real simple, right? It's still below the 200. It's starting to flatten out though. And so it looks like this is still consolidating phase one. And it has ideally it gets some good catalyst to trend higher. And so, it looks okay, but is it actionable for a trade? I wouldn't say now, especially if, it's only a few percentage points away from this. If you want to trade for a potential 7% gain, have at it. There's just better places to be. ASTS has earnings on Monday night, so be mindful of that. I misspoke in my video. It was ASTS. Whatever. Either way, this is nice and tight. It's below the 50 though. It's below the 200. I would just wait for earnings to get out of the way. It's hard to know what to actually do. NBIS downtrend line broke it, creating a higher low. It is now prices below this anchored VWAP most of the time. If this is the low, or if it's going to continue higher, it holds that anchored VWAP. I just went over that in my weekly preparation video. So go watch that. But it looks okay. I don't think it looks as clean as IREN or CoreWeave, CRWV. LITE, this has gotten some love for sure. We set an anchored VWAP at this low, and we'll probably see that it respected it here, couldn't get to here. Kind of a rounding distribution here, and now it has reclaimed that support level. This looks pretty solid. We'll see if it finds any more supply now that it's back in here. But it's had a pretty nice level. It's pretty sloppy overall. It's hard to trade. I would just wait until it gets tight for a good risk reward. COHR, again, look at it, like completely ripped. I would not be chasing this now. It's moved up 72% in 7 trading days. Like, come on, what are you doing if you're chasing this? Right here was a nice entry of this 3-day time correction to the short EMA. I would wait for that potentially same thing to happen there. Otherwise, it's kind of a choppy, sloppy mess. Just ask yourself, is it really worth your money for it to gamble, in my opinion? Chasing it up 71%. The odds are not in your favor. I would wait for a pullback. I just set an anchor VWAP to this low. An interest, I'll set a alert to that anchor VWAP. And we'll see, what the day looks like when it comes. DELL, this is one of my favorite picks for the week. I went over it in my weekly prep video. Basically, huge consolidation. Break out of that consolidation, print an all-time high, first pullback to this. I have this $430, $437 area marked out as important. Pulls back, retests it. Nice bottoming tail. Went from red to green, closing near the highs on Friday. This looks good for continuation. Honestly, it looks pretty great. It's a top look and top watch for me personally. MRVL, this is also a top look and top watch for me. Downtrend line has been broken. It is above the 50, it's above the 21, it's above the 5, it's above the 8, it's respecting the anchor VWAP, it's above the 200. It has set a higher high relative to here. This right here, this gap and this low from Thursday could be the higher low relative to here. So it is what it is. This looks tight. It's in range. I have a alert set at 222 basically. So I will be looking for tight price action, a tight risk entry for reward. And I like MRVL for this week. PANW, I also like PANW for this week. It's consolidating and is ranging this area. It's obvious, right? That's obvious. And so it's getting tight here. This looks, if I would have gotten in Friday, I would not have been mad. I just don't like to hold over the weekend if I don't have good cushion. So it's a tight day. I would look for expansion in one direction. I think the odds are to the upside. We're above the 5, above the 8, above the 21, above the anchor VWAP from the prior high. Let's see. I'll put one for the day, which was Wednesday. Right there, the average participant from the all-time highs is above water. So where's the pressure? The pressure is up. Last one, CVRS. This has been getting some love as well. So a recent IPO that continues to struggle at the IPO anchored VWAP. However, it continues to touch it, right? It is above the 8. It's above the 21, it's above the 5, it's above a newly printed 50 EMA from July 27th. It looks like it is basing, consolidating. What area, look at the chart, what area is obvious here? This right here. Where does price connect and touch often? So that is an area that is potentially supply here, 237 to 245, call it, okay? So it's at I'd just be mindful of it. But it is looking like it is consolidating and consolidating nicely. I do the same thing here. What's the area where price touches and holds the most? Okay, there you go. There's your range. We'll see if it breaks out of that range. All right, overall, looks pretty decent. That is the most popular stocks over FinX over the week. Thank you for your time. Like, subscribe, ask questions. I will answer as best as I can. And I will catch you next week. Later.